It is difficult to really quantify how many days we were covering the flood of 2008, and we were on the air constantly for at least 5 days. It was the most intense and uncommon 5 days of coverage I've ever been a part of. You know, we knew the river was going to rise, we knew it was going to be a flood, but then the rain came, and it wouldn't stop. It got so dire that there was a risk that we might lose clean water in the city. And we put out a call. Please, please help sandbag the last well that the city had.
The city is in dire need of sandbaggers right now to help protect the city's only suction well left. They usually have 4 suction wells operating. There are 3 down right now. This is the only suction well left operating in the city.
It was just unlike anything we'd ever been through before. Flooded 10 square miles of this community, and it impacted people in such a dynamic and frightening way because many were evacuated from their homes. Many of them, their jobs also were flooded, so some people also then lost their employment. And then where their kids go to daycare centers were flooded. An elementary school couldn't even open the next school year, it was so flood damaged. So for people who were in that 10-mile square area that flooded in Cedar Rapids, it wasn't that they lost or something was changed in one part of their lives. Everything about their lives was disrupted. That has a long-lasting mental health impact on people. And we've rebuilt, we've done some beautiful things in Cedar Rapids because of the flood, but the long-lasting impact on many of the people in this community is that of pain.
My name is Kathy Mader. I'm co-owner of Office Express Office Product. We're in downtown Cedar Rapids. We're about a block and a half from the Cedar River.
Broken down and tired.
Such a crazy time. They said it would crest at 21.5. Then it went up to 22. Then it was up potential 24. And then I started to get nervous. Sandbagged a little bit by the doors, and we basically picked up our belongings in a box and left that day. Prepared? We weren't. We weren't prepared for 10.5 feet of water in our building. When the flood hit, we realized our building was practically submerged, and there was nothing we could save.
And I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
The latest prediction is that it'll be up to 23 feet. It currently rose about 6 feet overnight, up to 18.25 feet right now. We're standing at roughly 19. So theoretically, in another few inches, and we would normally see water in the streets here. So it's really interesting. This is a new strategy deployed this year, this flood by Cedar Rapids. And so actually over here starts a clay wall outside, pretty much outside of the flood zone, a quarter mile. The clay wall then meets up with these HESCO barriers, which are these massive bags that are then these square bags, blocks, that are filled with sand. And in some parts, it actually goes 15 feet high. They chose to do that on 16th Avenue because it's a flat surface. And so it's a temporary wall, but it sure looks like it will hold back a lot of water.
And I rise up, I like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. You,
We've had a tremendous response from the citizens of Cedar Rapids to provide us 2 lines of defense. The first line is the HESCO barriers and earthen berms. 9.8 miles have been filled with sand, and the second line, over 250,000 sandbags have been put together and located to protect businesses and homes.
The first day that we did sandbagging down here, it was chaos. There were thousands of volunteers. You couldn't get a car through here. It was just insane. And it became a real public safety hazard. So the sandbagging location was moved out of the New Bohemia district. And the police then regulated who could come in and out of the district. Really, you just want residents, businesses, and real volunteers coming through here.
The community has definitely wrapped their arms around everything this time around. We had a little bit longer lead time before the event, so that I think everybody is much better prepared for this flood. Plus, having gone through the flood in 08, they kind of knew a little bit better what to prepare for this time as well. The fire department is preparing for the flood by deploying our boats pre-flood arrival. We've got numerous boats positioned throughout the city, so as the flood waters rise and any calls would come in, we've got boats in the proper locations to respond to calls. We've got more boats staged back at Central Fire Station, prepared for additional deployment if need be.
The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains.
Never been more prepared for a flood. You know, for one, we had a really good advance notice, and right off the bat, thousands of volunteers. I mean, our community stepped up big time. And not only did you have volunteers lugging sandbags, filling sandbags, but there are random people throughout the community that would pull up with their car, open up their trunk, and there was a smorgasbord inside of liquid, food, etc. So, I mean, when a lot of tears have been shed throughout this process, a lot of times it's because of the outpouring of help.
The volunteers have been just absolutely wonderful. I mean, I lifted a couple of them sandbags myself. They're pretty darn heavy, and to watch those people doing all of that is just amazing. And people going down through here with sack lunches, or one lady went down with a tray of sandwiches. Are you hungry? And she's in a business down on the avenue. You know, it's just, it's amazing the way people have reacted. It really is.
We'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise.
Our thoughts are not again. There's a pit in my stomach, just like everybody else in Cedar Rapids. But from the time that we found out on that Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock, they were projecting 24 feet. We've been working feverishly over a 4-day period to protect our city.
tell you, I mean, in general, with all the divisiveness in our country and the world, with our political system, and to see so many people working together. When people were pulling their trucks up for sandbags, we weren't looking at, we weren't looking to see if they had a Bernie bumper sticker or a Trump bumper sticker on their car. We were putting sandbags in. People of all different races, religions, political affiliations were helping one another out. So that was truly amazing, and gives me hope.
There aren't even words to describe the response by the community of Cedar Rapids, and it hasn't just been Cedar Rapids. Many other towns, people from outside of Cedar Rapids have volunteered. It hasn't been hundreds of volunteers. It's not even thousands of volunteers. It's tens of thousands of volunteers, people that have helped fill up sandbags, tie them, load them up.
We've got a community that has responded in an unbelievable way, and so perseverance rings true, and I'd also bring resilience is a word that speaks of our community. Perseverance and resilience. The community outpouring of help has been phenomenal. With the river rising, so does the community.
Rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up. I like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Well, there were three parts to our success. One was the city government that reacted swiftly and put together a plan. Two was all the private contractors that dropped everything they did and helped the city construct that temporary HESCO barrier. And three, all the work the citizens and organizations did. I mean, it was a tremendous response by everybody working together in cooperation is really what made the plan so successful and why we saved the city.